are Whitley Podcast, and we're your hosts. I'm Katie.
And I'm Louise. And so today's episode is going to be all about sixth form. So we're going to be talking about 4 main points that are
Introducing what is sixth form,
what you should study,
what it's like at sixth form, like what we do,
and all the extra bits. So workload,
Right.
extracurricular, and the social side of sixth form.
and it's not going to be a detailed description of sixth form. Our intentions are to split the individual sections into
Different
separate episodes,
yeah.
so we can actually go into a lot more detail. But today it's
Exactly.
just an overview.
So, what is sixth form? Is really the 2 final years of your study within school. It can be at the school that you attended to do GCSEs, or it can be at a different school.
Or at a college, you can do it.
You can do A-levels. So that's another thing. You do A-levels or BTechs.
There are a range of subjects within A-levels and BTechs, but generally BTechs include the vocational subjects, which are subjects that aim at a particular occupation or the skills that are required for that occupation, like example, drama, dancing, catering. It doesn't mean that they're easier or harder, because in my opinion, all A-levels and BTechs have the same level of difficulty, but with some slight variations.
And it's also a good thing to point out that BTechs are typically more coursework based.
Yes.
So there's less stress on exams
Uh-huh.
and more practical work that you do that's handed into your teacher.
And often if you want to go to universities, A-levels are what universities look for.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind as well.
So sixth form is a really, really great opportunity for you to not only get grades and A-levels and BTechs that you want in the certain subjects, but it's also a great place where you can gain higher skills and ensure that you get a strong position within a very competitive world.
Yeah, because right now our society and the global world are getting very, very competitive with very intelligent and dedicated individuals with very high qualifications. In order to compete with them and to make sure you can achieve your goals, sixth form is an excellent platform to gain those high qualifications, and again, like Louise said, to boost those skills and assets that you have.
So there's the thing called soft skills and transferable skills, which are more your personal and discussion and topic work and group work skills. They are massively developed upon in sixth form.
So you may think through those academic skills you gain, at the same time you also pick up those soft skills and / transferable skills like communication skills, your confidence, your group work skills, which are all required to get those grades.
Yeah. And these can develop through the opportunities that's available to you in sixth form.
Yeah.
So we're both on 2 different programmes called Pathways. So I do Pathways to Law, and Katie does Pathways to Banking. This is an external programme that you apply to. You attend events at the universities that assign you a place. You get to meet lots of people, do lots of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
But these opportunities are 100% key for your soft skills.
And they're very much career focused, so we both attend events where we meet the professionals who work in those fields that we'd like to go into in the future. So obviously a huge part of sixth form is achieving academic success, but a lot of people just think that grades are just letters on a sheet of paper, whilst they aren't everything in your life, whilst they aren't everything you should care about, they do illustrate so much more about you than you think.
Definitely.
Because the work ethic, the motivation, the energy and the self-belief required to get those grades are so important and contribute so much more than you think. Because A-levels aren't particularly easy, and I think the ability to overcome those struggles and to achieve high grades can show your future employers you as a dedicated and determined person.
And another thing that grades lead to is UCAS.
So UCAS, they are a platform through which you can apply to universities, and we will talk more in depth about UCAS in another episode.
So, next point. What should you study at sixth form?
So I think one of the most exciting things when applying to sixth form is actually picking what subjects you'd like to do.
Definitely. So what do you do, Katie?
I do maths, further maths, economics and geography. What about you?
And I do history, geography and economics.
So subjects offered at Whitley include maths,
English, literature and language. It's a combined course.
the sciences of physics, biology and chemistry,
The good old geography and history.
modern foreign languages,
And then BTechs include media, sport, ICT.
and we also have psychology and sociology.
Yeah. So these aren't the only subjects that you can do as A-levels. You can also do consortia, which both myself and Katie do.
So consortia subjects are the subjects which you take at another school. You still be students at Whitley, but for those subjects which aren't offered here, you go to another school to do them. So for example,
We both take economics at Caledon Castle.
and I also take further maths at Caledon Castle. For example, many year 13s also do performing arts / drama at Finham Park.
We're also going to do a separate episode on how to actually choose your subject.
So now, what it's like at sixth form, I think that's one of the things that many people are curious about, like, what exactly do we do in our sixth form? It's like a mysterious thing, because we're like isolated in a little area.
But that's the whole point of this podcast,
Yeah.
to show the rest of the school what sixth form's actually like.
Yeah.
At Whitley, sixth form is made up of the common room and F23. These are the two main hubs. So the common room is a big space. It has sofas, tables, the kitchen area, and Mr. Edwards and Miss Clark's
Office.
tiny cupboard of an office.
We have computers in there, we have fridge, we have pigeonholes.
There's the TV,
Yes.
which gets turned on every break and lunch. So there are these two main spaces. But of course, there's the LRC, and Miss Wing's really welcoming, and you can go in there whenever you want, really, during your freeze to do work. And there's also a timetable where if there are any classrooms free throughout the week, they're all listed, and then you can go to those and
Definitely.
you can do work there in peace and quiet.
So counted in a week, I think I have 10 frees where I don't have lessons.
Within a week, I think I have around 50.
Because in those free periods, you're never off though.
No.
So generally, I have 5 lessons a week for 3 of my subjects, but for further maths, I have 4 lessons a week.
I have 5 for all 3.
So that's a standard amount for A-level subjects.
Free periods, I think, shouldn't be called free periods.
No.
Because although you're not in lesson, it's expected and it should be a time where you do work.
Yes, as we will talk about later, the density of workload you get in sixth form is rather immense. If you don't do your frees, you're really just wasting time.
Exactly. I know some people who don't necessarily like to work in their frees and prefer to work at home, and that's
fine.
It's down to you.
Yes, it all
as long
depends
as you
on-
get the work done, it's fine.
But it's
really.
recommended that you spend your frees productively.
Yeah, and no one's going to check what work you've done
Yeah.
in your frees or anything. Obviously, you do have the distractions of your friends
Yeah,
around and
yeah.
that kind of thing. But I think it is a good time just to get your
Yeah.
head down a bit and do a bit of work.
Which leads on to the expectations of sixth form of, yes, you do get the privilege of having that independence, but that comes with a burden of actually obeying to those expectations and controlling yourself in a way. So obviously it's expected that you behave well because you're treated like an adult in sixth form, which is what I love. You have that sense of respect between your peers and between teachers and students, which is
You are just
quite
on
lovely.
the same level as everyone, and
Yes.
that's really nice.
Also it's the same during lessons as well, because lower school
Class sizes are bigger.
and you did get a lot of behaviour issues, and teachers really treated you more like kids. But now,
There's no issues to solve
Yeah.
because everyone just wants
it's
to get their
quite
head down and
lovely.
do their work.
So, for example, in our geography class, there's only 7 of us,
Yeah.
and it's always quite lovely to get that concentrated and focused help from our teacher.
For me, history's only 6 people as well, so it's
Yeah.
exactly the same.
But what's so nice is that you know everyone in the class likes the subject they're doing, which makes it more enjoyable because everyone's engaged. And even if you feel like that the question you want to ask is stupid, it's okay.
Miss Wright always says, no question's ever a silly one, and
Yeah.
it's so true.
Yeah. And that's so nice about actually being in an A-level class because
Yeah.
everyone respects you, you can ask whatever you want.
Yep. So sixth form sounds hard, it sounds stressful,
Yeah.
but really, if you use your frees wisely,
Yeah.
if you just make sure you get the work done, you'll have a really good time.
And also sometimes you can have a lot of fun in your lessons as well. Yes, lessons are fast-paced and you are expected to do a lot of home learning, but that shouldn't be an issue if you really like your subjects.
Definitely. So, the final topic, workload, extracurricular and the social side of sixth form.
Right, workload. I think that's the most terrifying part of sixth form. People are scared to come to sixth form because of the workload.
And it is fair to say, yes, the workload is hard.
Yes.
But if you manage it consistently throughout the year, then you'll be fine.
Yes. And also success is relative, right?
Definitely.
For example, just because Louise is doing, 10 hours of work each day and I'm only doing 4, it doesn't mean that I'm failing. It doesn't mean that she's doing much better than I am.
Exactly.
As long as you know you are on track, that you are not failing, as long as you know you are hitting those grades, don't care about how much other people are doing. Obviously, you can, use that as like a goal or motivation or inspiration in a way, but don't beat yourself up and put yourself down just because someone else is doing something different to you.
And the same thing can be said about grades as well.
Yes.
So just because you're not getting an A star in every exam that you sit and for every subject doesn't mean that you're a failure.
No.
Even if you're working towards a C at the end of the year and you're really hoping for a C, that is in no way failing just because someone else is aiming for an A star.
Yeah, because people have different standards they want to hit, and no standards are bad standards.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
as long as you have goals and you're working towards meeting them, then that is amazing and well done.
Yeah, I think that's one of the purposes of being in sixth form, is having that end goal to achieve.
Exactly, and everyone's working towards it, which is the nicest thing.
Which is what makes sixth form so rewarding at the end, especially when you've hit those goals and targets and success. It's just the best feeling. And also, even the brightest kid in the year group won't succeed the test, won't get an A star or full marks on the test every time. That's just impossible, right?
Of course.
So if, for example, in your mocks you got a D, a C, but your target was an A, that is just a reminder and a source of motivation for you to work harder.
And sixth form is a process. You have to complete the process to be able to get to the end goal, which is something that we've mentioned. So going through the C's and the D's will actually motivate you to work as hard as possible to be able to get the A star at the end.
Yeah, definitely. So therefore it's important to develop that conscience and awareness of what your goals are. Please just don't come to school sixth form without any aims.
And I think as well, when you first start sixth form, you get given target grades based off your GCSE results. Don't go by those target grades.
Yeah.
If you want your target grades to be higher, you can make your target grades higher.
I know people who've achieved B's and C's and D's in GCSE but ended up getting A's and A stars at A-level.
Exactly. Again, education is a big process.
And you may be scared that the content is going to be hard in sixth form, and yeah, they are, but you know what? Before year 7, you thought that the content in secondary school was going to be much harder.
Exactly.
And now you're in secondary school, you're going to think that the content in A-levels are going to be harder. Similarly, now we think the content at universities are going to be much harder.
Yeah.
But once you get to those separate stages, you forget about how hard they are because you just get on with the work.
I completely agree.
Because you're obviously going to find things that you haven't done before hard. It's all about the mindset.
Very true. Obviously, the jump from GCSE to sixth form is going to be tricky. Everyone says that because it's true.
It's true.
But personally for me, because I heard it so much, the jump wasn't actually that big.
Oh, yeah. I think it's better to have that expectation of everything being harder first, because it will seem easier.
Exactly. But once you actually do it,
Yeah.
and you realise that there is a difference and what the difference is, then you'll be absolutely fine.
I think one of the most important tips is to take each day as it is. So not just for sixth form, but even for those of you in 11 sitting your exam. Obviously plan ahead for your work, but try to breathe and just focus on what you're going to do in that day.
And also just enjoy the mini victories. If you manage to read a chapter of that textbook, then well done. Like you've actually made progress. And although it might be small in the grand scheme of things, it's actually a big progress and you should be really proud of yourself. So every tiny thing that you do is adding to the education, because I can't remember when I learnt this certain thing, but it's the whole process of it that is actually the
learning
whole point.
bit.
Exactly.
Because I think too often now everything's focused on exams.
1000%.
That seem like they're ultimately everything.
Yeah, but it's not. You come to school to get an education.
Yes.
That's the whole point of this system.
In the UK, we've been struggling with having an adequately educated workforce, or a very productive workforce. If you don't know, the productivity level of our economy is very low. And what I mean by that is that our employees, they aren't as highly educated as they could be. So the level of qualifications generally amongst our workforce is quite average and quite low compared to competitor countries such as in the East or America, for example, or Sweden. And one of the main factors behind it is the adequacy and the quality of our education, also massively to do with people's work ethic. Nowadays, many students don't have that motivation. So despite the workload, we will offer more in-depth revision and management and organisation advice in future episodes.
Yep.
So extracurriculars, what do you do? Or what they call supercurriculars.
Supercurriculars are the things that are outside of your curriculum, such as reading a book about a certain topic that you studied in class.
Whereas extracurriculars, they're the hobbies.
Yeah.
And
the sport,
the music. So things that aren't academic.
I think people can be caught up with supercurriculars and extracurriculars, to be honest, in general.
Yeah, it's all about the balance. Because if you really like something, please stick to it. It's so important to have that balance between schoolwork and your home life, your curriculars. I think it's very important for you to be a well-rounded individual.
Definitely. And supercurriculars, they're not forced, it's just completely your choice.
Yeah.
But they should come naturally. I like to read history books, and I do that in my free time, which I know is quite sad to some people. But supercurriculars should just come naturally, really.
Yeah, and also make an effort to attend those. So like we said, we applied to those path-based programs, apply to summer schools, apply to work experience and opportunities. I think it's so great that so many opportunities are opening up for people our age.
And coming from a school like Whitley.
Yeah.
So, there are a lot of opportunities available to us and you.
Yes.
So take them when they come.
Yeah.
Make the most of it.
Always say yes.
As you come into sixth form, it might seem like there's not an opportunity for a social life. But in the very first few weeks and months, I had the most fun. It might seem scary being merged with the year above, but it's really not.
No.
I know we have a really lovely year with us. For the year 11s having to merge with us, I hope it's not too scary. But there's no disparity between the years.
No. And we have mixed tutors as well. So year 12s and year 13s have, share same tutor groups, and it's always really lovely.
I remember on induction day when we were split into the different tutor groups, and I was so scared.
But they're all lovely people, they're so nice.
Yeah.
Again, it's a great opportunity to meet new friends that you wouldn't have gotten the chance in year 11.
So, I hope that's given you a bit of an insight into sixth form. As we said, we're going to make more in-detailed episodes on certain sections. I hope it's been insightful.
I hope you enjoyed that and didn't find that too boring. All right. Thank you for listening. Bye.